Okay, so I'm recording on top of my backpack purse. I know it's kind of weird. So today I went to Walgreens to pick up some pictures and to buy this primer and this envelope. Yeah, so I'm trying to renew my passport and it has a lot of steps and I don't know, I had been procrastinating to even look at stuff, but I started working on it. I think it's Monday. So Monday, fill out the application. No, Tuesday. I don't know. Okay, so the first day I did the application, the second day, I got the picture taken, and today I picked up the thing. I was really fucking nervous about it. And now that I have it, I feel like it's kind of blurry, and now I'm paranoid about that. So I don't know. And then I got 3 of them so that I could cut them out. And then I also got this picture. It's a drawing that my sister's friend did. So anyway, yeah, I was really nervous about it. I was like, I might as well just buy the envelope there. Did I say it was Walgreens? I think I did. But they didn't have like the regular envelopes, so I feel like I overspent on this. This was $3.50. Now that I've been tracking my spending, I feel even more guilty about buying shit. But I needed that, but I feel like I should have just bought it at the mail place. I don't know, or maybe I should just gone to Walmart. Anyway, it's too many fucking steps, man. See, I'm already looking crazy. And then this, have been meaning to buy this, but I didn't want to buy it from Amazon because sometimes, well, in the comments it said that it seemed like they had gotten an old one. So I bought it there. I actually just put it on and I don't like it. I was like, oh, it feels like a moisturizer, not really like silicone-y, but no, it feels very silicone-y, which is, you know, the whole point, but I don't like the feeling of it, so yep. Anyway, probably will be the only makeup item I buy this month. So other stuff that's been going on, I went to Home Depot and Green Acres. Technically, I went with my husband, but I had to ask for paint, and I did it myself, and it was kind of awkward. Like, I don't know, when people like joke around with me and I don't get it, I feel very embarrassed. I mean, I guess it's normal, but anyway, when the person was taking my order, he said, like, he asked me for my name and I said Jennifer, and then he said 1Q, and then I said 2 N's because like it didn't register what he had said. I just kind of was like, what? And so I just said like the regular thing that people always ask me if it's 1 N or 2 N's. Anyway, I felt kind of embarrassed about that. I guess the whole interaction was a lot, but it's fine. I paid at both of the places, you know, interacted with the cashier, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about ADHD a little bit. So obviously, okay, so I'm not diagnosed or anything, but I'm pretty sure I have some form of it. Excuse me. What happened? Oh, well, first of all, the passport thing, like, it just has too many steps and it feels very overwhelming. And coupled with social anxiety, you know, having to do the picture and the going to the mail, which, like, I thought, oh, which, you know, I did it through an app because I didn't want somebody else to take a picture of me because I always don't like the picture, so it took a lot of takes to get that one. Okay, so let me talk back about the porch thing. So I painted my porch red a long time ago, and it needed another coat. I did 3 coats and it still needed another coat. And so I eventually bought the paint, and then I never did it because at that point my hands were hurting pretty bad. Like, that's when it was the worst. And then I just never did it. And then I kind of didn't like the color anymore at the same time. And so now that I'm like okay-ish, I decided to repaint my porch, but it's been like not overwhelming, but it's like it consumes my thoughts. Not that it consumes my thoughts. Anyway, the porch makeover is all I think about, and I am determined to finish it, but I'm getting kind of irritated by it because it seems like I'm still working on it, and I'm like, I should be done by now. But anyway, and I'm also nervous about painting the window trim because what if it looks ugly? Having second thoughts about the color, but anyway. And then I'm also making a little video, like a little makeover video that hopefully looks cute. Yeah, I don't like this primer. I mean, it's even like what I feel in my hands, because I guess I don't know. Ew. I think there have been some other like social interactions, like with friends and stuff, and with family, but I guess I'll just stick to the store stuff for now. I do have to go to Food Co soonish because we're running out of milk, but I want to finish the stupid porch first before I do this, because even this took a lot of effort. Okay, I totally forgot to talk about the whole interaction situation. So yeah, so I went to the Walgreens that I already knew. I knew where the photo section was at. I went over there and there wasn't anybody. And then I saw somebody go into the back, and then she was talking on the phone and she said, "Hold on, I gotta go." So I thought she was gonna help me, but yeah, she didn't. So maybe she was just a stalking person. But anyway, there was a cashier on the other side, and I was like, let me just ask him. And then I was like, hey, like, I'm here to pick up some pictures. And then he was like, oh yeah, let me help you. And so then we walked over to the photo thing. That, for some reason, I felt so fucking awkward just standing there. I don't know. I was just paying for pictures. I don't know why I was so in my head about it. And then I felt embarrassed about buying makeup because it was a guy. But then I was like, whatever. I want to buy it. Although I regret buying it because it feels weird. But anyway, so yeah, I got in line after again. And then I felt bad that he said, "Thank you, have a nice day." And I said, "Thank you, you too." But I didn't look at him. And I feel bad. But I was just kind of looking down at my bag and stuff. I don't know. I wish I could make more eye contact, is all I gotta say. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so I just woke up an hour ago. I'm gonna talk about what happened yesterday, and then I'll go back to the weekend. Also, I got a new tripod, and I don't think I like it already. Like, I had to take this case off so that I could put the phone in. So now I'm thinking about that. Okay. Anyway, so yesterday I went to the orientation training for the job thing. So what happened? So I left half an hour early. It was 5 minutes away from my house. I missed the street that it was on because it was a really tiny street. First time around, I went back and ended up in the same spot, and then I was okay, it's probably gonna be a small street. I went in, and then I was looking for the place. I had seen pictures of it on Google Maps and I didn't see it. I parked and then I walked around. I thought I had been in that plaza before because my sister used to work there, and in the back of the building it seems like they looked like little classes. So I was like, okay, I think it's probably going to be there. It was not there. Ended up circling the thing and then coming back at the plaza. I'm not really making sense, but anyway, then there was like a big gate on the other side, and I was like, well, I don't really see any other buildings. So then I walked around the gate and I saw the building with the name. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, damn, it's already like 1:50 something and the appointment's at 2. I'm just gonna get in my car and go over there because it seems like you can go over there. So I did that. I drove over and there was no parking. So I did the whole 3-point turn thing and, well, 5-point turn thing because I feel like my spatial awareness is kind of bad. So I always like overestimate how much space I have. Anyway, I just felt embarrassed about leaving, and so Anyway, then there was another parking lot that was next to that building, but it was already full. So I went back to like the big parking lot that I was in, and then I parked there, and then I like sped walk to the building. And yeah, I was like out of breath and everything and panicky and all that. And I made it in time. It was like 1:55. Yeah, they told me to sign in a little paper and stuff, and I did. And then they told us to walk into a room and we had to sign in again and to do an application. So I did the application, and then they did the whole PowerPoint presentation. I like wrote notes of like what it was going to be. Basically, it's like 10 weeks of classes and online learning, and then it's 10 weeks of like the internship, which is, it's basically like a sterilization program. You sterilize like medical instruments and like dental instruments, like those like metal things, you know. So anyway, at some point she said, is there anybody that doesn't want this job because of the blood and blah blah blah. And like I pushed my glasses up, and she was like, and she thought it was me that I was not interested in anymore. They gave me back my stuff, and then I was like, oh no, like it was because of my glasses, blah blah. And then she was like, oh no, I totally get it, because she also had glasses. And but I still felt embarrassed, you know, because it was just like, I don't know. And then I was like, maybe I did raise my hand, but I thought that she asked something else. I don't know what happened, but anyway, yeah. So then the presenter goes, by the way, you guys are gonna have interviews today. Who wants to go first? And then 3 people raised their hands. And yeah, I really did think that they were gonna do the interviews like out, like in front of everybody, like just going like, you know, person by person. But no, they like told us to go back into, you know, the big building. It was kind of like a cafeteria. So I was glad about that, because I thought it was gonna be in person. No, I thought it was gonna be in front of everybody. The first 3 people went, and then I raised my hand like the second round because I had to pick up my husband, because right now we only have a car. I'll circle back to that story. And then my actual interview went really fucking bad. The biggest thing is that because I have 2 degrees, it's kind of weird that I'm going for this job, because it's basically a training for like a new job, you know? So there was that. And then like I studied geology. This was kind of a lab thing. It's sciencey, but it's not really related, you know? So that was weird. So point is that I talked about my chronic pain in the interview. Like that's kind of how I presented myself. Like I was like, oh, I was an environmental scientist. I messed up my hands. I had surgery on my right hand, and I want a lab. I want a job that's in. See, I can't even fucking talk right now. Okay. Anyway, that's how bad the fucking interview was. Like, I don't know. I was just really fucking nervous. I don't know. And then I feel like maybe I shouldn't have talked about it, but I feel like I had to talk about it, because to understand why I'm going for that job. And like some time later, they were saying that I was overqualified, and I was like, oh, but like I'm not though, because I can't really use a computer, so like that's why I'm interested in this job, blah blah blah, you know. And like the pay even was like similar to what I was making. It's a little bit lower, but like I feel like right now my only options without going back to school is to have a lab assistant job, which is basically minimum wage. So you know, that kind of sucks. And even then I feel like getting a lab job would be hard, because yeah, I did have like 2 chemistry classes, but I didn't really have a lot of like job experience with a lab, you know. So there's that too. And then the other questions, I feel like I was very short with my answers, but I didn't know what else to say. The first question was like, tell me about yourself. I said that stuff at some point, somebody interrupted us and I lost my train of thought, and then it made me more nervous. And then she was like, oh, is there anything else about you? And I was like, oh, I've lived in, you know, I've lived in this city like my whole life and I have 2 cats. That's the only thing that I fucking think about. But what else can I fucking say? Anyway. So yeah. So that's how that went. I left and I went to go pick up my husband. I told him about it. And the whole fucking day I've been, well, the rest of the day I was just thinking about it and feeling shitty about it. And the other thing is that they're only gonna pick 3 people out of 40 people. So that's kind of a lot. And like I overheard a little bit, like, because there was another woman that was talking to other people to like collect paperwork, and I was like, I feel like they're more deserving than me. So yeah, I kept thinking about it the whole time yesterday and how bad I did. And then what happened after, I don't know. And then like I would do things that I would forget about it. Like, what was I doing? Oh, I was watching YouTube videos of like hairstyle stuff because I got a lot of shit from Amazon, and I bought a curling iron and I couldn't figure it out. I think it's just with short hair, it just doesn't look good. So I think I'm gonna return it. I'm also gonna return a skirt that like the material is really like annoying. And then this tripod I might return because I can't use it with this. So I guess I was able to use it without the case, but anyway. And I liked it because it seemed sturdy and it doesn't have like 20,000 clips. It just has like one long clip. Probably doesn't make sense, but anyway, forgot about that. And then I started remembering again, and then my husband and I were working on another song, which, by the way, we just posted a new song a couple of days ago. I did a little post on the channel about it. Anyway, we're called Azuro Malachite if you're interested. Then at some point I got kind of butthurt because my husband brought up the interview again, and then I started feeling like shit again, and then I couldn't sleep, and I had melatonin that didn't do anything. Usually I like watch TV before going to sleep, and I couldn't find the remote. Apparently the remote is on his nightstand. And then my comfort show is either or in high school or Parks and Rec. And Parks and Rec, I have to get the DVDs, and that's too annoying because I don't think it's streaming. Anyway, so sometimes, I don't know, it's kind of a hack, but you know how like people listen to music to fall asleep or rain? The rain thing kind of helps sometimes, but usually it doesn't work for me anymore. Anyway, so what I do is I put a show in the background that I've seen 20,000 times, and then I can kind of just imagine what's going on by like them talking, and I don't have to like watch it. Because I also had a migraine because I ate in the morning, and then the appointment was at 2, and I didn't eat until I came back. And then yeah, so I couldn't really watch TV anyway. So I think I fell asleep, and then I woke up again because I think my cat jumped on me because I was in the living room. And then I woke up and I realized that the Hulu thing wasn't working anymore. So then I came back to bed and that was fine. And then during the interview, they were asking me like, oh, like, then do you think you can actually like do this job with, you know, because it's very like hands-on, blah, blah, blah. Like, are you gonna be able to do it, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, I think I can. But then when I got home, I was like, even if I do get picked, what if I fucking suck? What if my chronic pain doesn't let me do shit, you know? So there was that too. So I don't know. And it's like, oh, it's only 3 people, like they probably aren't gonna pick me. But then at the same time, like there's like a little bit that I'm like, maybe they might pick me, you know? And then I don't know, I feel like I just came off super desperate in the interview, which I fucking am. Anyway, okay, so going back to the weekend, I guess Friday, so we went skiing on Friday. It was really fun, but at the beginning, I was really nervous about it. So I was nervous about my chronic pain, like, I was nervous that like my chronic pain was gonna act up and I was gonna be like miserable, and I was also afraid that I was gonna ruin people's time because I was hurting, you know? And the other thing is that I didn't want to like break something else. Well, I mean, I haven't broken anything, but I want to break, you know, my leg and then have like another thing to worry about, you know? Anyway, and then I also had a kind of a bad experience the first time I tried it. It was snowboarding technically, but okay, I guess I'll talk about it. Okay, so the first time I went snowboarding, I went with my ex and my friend, and I guess now her ex. So anyway, so it was like two couples or whatever. I think my ex was the one that suggested it, and then I was like, okay, let me ask some friends because I didn't drive and then he didn't have a car. So anyway, yeah, so we went, and like the three of us, my friend, her boyfriend, and me, we were in a little bunny hill the whole time. And like he kind of gave us like 2 seconds of direction, and then he just like left us to struggle. So yeah, he was just like gone the whole time, and it was just the three of us, you know, falling over on the stupid little bunny hill. And I don't know, it was like kind of annoying, and I don't know, I was not able to keep my balance. So this time around, I decided that I wanted to try skiing because I heard that that was easier. It definitely was easier, but I was still really annoyed with myself because I kept falling. And I didn't understand how to stop. You're supposed to like make your feet like pizza. That's what they call it, pizza. But then like I feel like I couldn't slow down fast enough. So yeah, and then the other thing that frustrated me is that like I couldn't like click, because you have to like click on the skis with your foot, and like it wasn't clicking and it was annoying. But I realized that it was because I was trying to do it like this. Like this is the ski and this is my foot. Like I was like doing it on the slope instead of like trying to do it like this. I don't know if that made sense, but okay, sorry. Let me go back. So oh yeah. Oh my god. Let me go even more back. So we got into a small accident when we were going over there to the snow. It was like barely starting to snow, and like the cars in front of us started braking, and then the car in front of us like was braking, and then he just like hit the curb, and then my husband like started, well, same thing, like he started braking and then he just went into the curb. And so I guess like some of the, like the person in front of us and us, like the brakes weren't working because like it just, or the tires just kept skidding. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Skidding? Anyway. So then my husband went into the thing so that he wouldn't hit the car in front, and he still ended up hitting the car a tiny amount, but it was just like a tiny scratch. And then for us, for us and the person in front that hit the wall, like the, what is it called, bender? I don't know, it got messed up a little bit. It's not bender, it starts with a B, but I forgot what it's called. We had to get off of the road because there was a cop that yelled at us that we couldn't be at the side of the road. So yeah, so my husband was dealing with the insurance stuff with the guy, and then we were there for like 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and then more people started like going in or going out. So there was like at least 6 other cars or 4 other cars that, no, like 6 other cars that were messed up, but they were worse. The other accidents were a little bit worse because like their hoods were like bent up. So I guess, yeah, the snow, man. We went back on the road, and then there was like no snow. So we ended up going after all. We thought we were gonna go back, but it was fine. So then we went to, sorry, I just keep thinking about this. So I was just watching somebody's YouTube video. Her name's Alexa Sunshine on YouTube, and she does like clothing type of stuff, and she she did like a Q&A. She talked about how she has OCD, and she's talking about guilt and like overthinking stuff. And I was like, fuck, like I think I might have that. And like I googled it, and now I'm like, I think I do have it, because I don't know, like my rumination is like really bad. Like I just replay stuff that I did bad over and over, and it's hard for me to like let go of stuff. And so like my husband just seemed to just brush it off, like, oh, whatever, it sucks. I've asked him like a couple of times, like, how do you just like get over it so fast? And he's like, oh, it's fine, it happened, and you know, I'll just have to deal with insurance, blah blah. I don't know, but I feel like if I would have done that, I feel like I would have cried. When we got to the actual like resort ski thing, which I'm like, maybe that's where my social anxiety comes in, like being afraid of doing the wrong thing, you know, which is like such low stakes, but somehow it feels like very high stakes. Anyway, sorry. So at the actual ski resort, it was really fucking crowded, and I was feeling really anxious. There's just like a lot of people, and then like I had to go to the bathroom, so like I separated from them, and I don't know, it was just kind of a lot. But anyway, once we got out of the little like office and got our stuff, oh, and then when we were getting our like equipment and stuff, I was just like sweating because I was nervous, but also it was hot in there. I don't know, I just get overwhelmed. Anyway, so then we got out, we were just practicing on like not a slope, and I was like, you know, pushing myself with the sticks, and then I could feel like this hand being annoying. Like I could feel like, it almost felt like I felt like the surgery like pain, you know. So I was like, fuck, like it's gonna be bad, like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then we got on like a super tiny slope, and then I fell, and then I was like, okay, anyway, and the clipping on, the blah blah blah, that was so annoying. So the second hill, which was actually the first bunny hill, the other one was like a tiny one that I don't even know if it was even supposed to be a hill. Yeah, so towards the end, it started to be more fun because I was able to clip on the things on myself, and at the same time, there was like a few times that I did not fall. I guess what I ended up just doing is, instead of like trying to break, I would just try to keep going until I braked by myself. So I would just go down the hill and then go to like the side. I don't know if that doesn't make sense, because I guess the side was like flatter, so I guess that's why I stopped. And then once I was ready to move on to like the bigger one, they had closed it down, because then you had to do the little train thing. It's not a train, but I forgot what it's called. Flight? It's not flight. Gondola? Is that what it's called? I don't fucking know what it's called. And then the whole fucking trip, like my husband was taking care of me, and I was like, damn, like I married the right person. Like he kept helping me with like putting on the skis, because I couldn't figure it out at first, and like I don't know. I mean, technically he was also struggling. He did snowboarding. But oh, and then we went with friends, but they ended up separating from us. I don't remember why. I think it's because we went to eat, and then they never texted us back. But yeah, like he was helping me put on the shoes too, because I don't have a lot of strength in my hands, and I don't know, he would carry my skis for me. I don't know, he's really nice, and I love him, and I don't know, it's weird, you know. And then over the weekend we did a lot of errands, but now I can't remember the order of what it's already been 26 minutes. Okay, Okay, so we went to the post office to turn in my passport renewal shit. Um, so the passport stuff had been weighing on me hard fucking core. Yeah, I was taking like one step at a time because it was overwhelming. So like the first day I did the passport application and I printed it out. The second day, I took a picture and did the whole like app thing of cropping it out and I ordered it. The third day, I went to Walgreens and picked up the pictures. And then I think the fourth day is when I was packing everything up. And then the next day is when we went skiing. And the next day we went to drop it off. So I didn't know how many stamps it was. And when I Googled it, I couldn't figure it out. And then the envelope I had was really big because there wasn't a smaller one when I went. And then when I was packing stuff up, I was like, oh, maybe I should actually just use a tiny envelope. But then I was like, oh, but then what if the pictures get folded? But I feel like they wouldn't have gotten folded because I think the pictures were in the middle. And then I was like, let me just put one little stamp and then we'll go to the post office and they'll weigh it and then they will tell me, you know? So how many more I need? So I went in and I was like, hey, oh, so we both went in. I pushed myself to like say it myself. This is so dumb, but I was like, hey, like I want to know like how many more stamps I need. And then he said, a lot. It's a parcel. And then I was like, oh. And then I felt really dumb because he was rude and I kept thinking like I should have just used the fucking small envelope. And then he was like, oh, do you want to just put the stamps or do you want me to just put it on the thing? And then anyway, so it was $6 plus the $1 plus, you know, the $3.50 for the envelope plus the pictures plus the whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, so then I got back to the car and I cried. I just felt dumb that I didn't use a small envelope, and you know, I felt upset that the guy was mean to me. And he probably didn't even mean it like that, but I don't know, he was just kind of like rude and it made me cry. And like the first time that I had gone to the mail, like he was so nice. So I don't know. Anyway, and then my husband was just saying like some people just talk like that and it's normal, and I was like, okay, fine. But anyway, so that's what happened. So then, see, now I even feel like crying again. And I think it was like day 2 of my period, so there was that too. Oh yeah, and then we went to the UPS store because I needed to return our rug. And then we both went out. It was kind of a heavy thing. And then I asked myself, oh wait, no, first we went to Ross. Anyway, I asked myself, and so I don't know, I was proud of that. And then, so the Ross thing was before I had to, what did I do? Oh, I had to get a birthday present for, what is it called? Brother-in-law. And also for my sister-in-law and my niece, but my niece, I couldn't find anything. And then I ended up buying like random things. Anyway, so because it was all my stuff, I paid for it and I interacted with the cashier. It was fine. And then it was the UPS store. And then I think we went to Sam's Club. I don't really remember much of it, so it must have been fine. And then Sunday, we went to Green Acres again to get more flowers for the porch. Then we went to Food Co. I think, yes. And then I realized that I probably could have gone to Green Acres by myself, but I just thought that like I would need help with carrying heavy shit, but they have a cart, so maybe next time I'll go by myself. And then, because I just got like the little $8 pots, like they're, you know, medium sized. And then at Food Co, because we only have one car right now because his car is at the shop, we went over the weekend, so I didn't go by myself because I had been procrastinating on going. Like, we were out of milk for a couple days, but because I've been working on the porch, I just been prioritizing that. At Foodco, I was just trying to like get stuff myself, but I don't know, there isn't much to talk about there. And then we went to my brother-in-law's birthday, and I felt like I was so good. Like, I was super talkative that day, which is weird because, you know, the morning started kind of bad. So my sister and I used to be in this school club, and I don't know why, but I feel weird hanging out with them now. And I was just sitting at the table with my mom and some of like my brother-in-law's family and also some of my mom's friends. Yeah, but then my mom ended up leaving, and then she ended up moving to the other side of the table. Anyway, point is that I talked to multiple people and I was asking a lot of questions, usually because I didn't want to talk about my shit, but I feel like I was really good. Like, I was like seeking out conversations, you know what I mean? There was one interaction that I was like, damn, I'm so fucking awkward. Like, I talked to this couple, and I don't know, it's like whenever people ask me like, oh, how are you? I'm just like, good, you know? I mean, not like that, but it's like, I don't know what to talk about, you know? And like, especially like, people usually talk about work, and it's like, I don't want to steer the conversation in that direction because I don't have a job and I feel embarrassed about it. They were like, oh, I've just been traveling, and I said, oh, like, where to? And they said XYZ, and I said, oh, like, they said Singapore, Japan, I forgot the other one. And I was like, oh, how was Japan? Like, I always wanted to go there. And then they said it was good, and they said a couple things about it, and then it was just kind of awkward, like, leaving the conversation. Like, I mean, they just left, but I was just like, it's weird, okay? And then, yeah. And then the other conversations, I just didn't know what to talk about, but I asked questions, and they talked to me back, so, yeah. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So future projects, oh my god, I was just thinking like, oh, I should go to Kohl's today or tomorrow, but I can't because I don't have a car. So yeah, that'll probably have to be over the weekend. So anyway, I have to return some things, like I said, the skirt, what was the other thing? I already forgot. The curling iron, possibly this tripod. But anyway, this was really long. Thank you for watching. Bye.